Բարև ձեզ հարգելի հեռուստադիտողներ, Alpha News-ի Los Angeles-յան տաղավարում ձեզ համար աշխատում է Ռոբերտ Գասպարյանը եւ մենք ձեզ համար պատրաստել ենք հարցազրույց։ Մենք մեր տաղավարում հյուրընկալել ենք Միացյալ Նահանգների Կալիֆոռնիա նահանգի գլխավոր գանձապահ Տիկին Fiona Main, մենք նրա այդ հարցազրույցը կանենք անգլերեն։ Good morning, Ms. Fiona. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, and many people know you as a California State Treasurer, but fewer know about you as a person. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself to introduce our community?
Sure. So I'm the oldest child of immigrant parents. Came to this country for the American dream. My parents wanted us to be one of the lead professions, a lawyer, engineer, accountant, or a doctor. So I was good at math, so I'm an accountant. My brother's an engineer. My sister's a doctor. We're just missing a lawyer in the family. But studying law is so important. So I'm really encouraging the next generation to think about going into the law. Grew up in New York, born and raised there. Went to the Rochester Institute of Technology in Rochester because they had a specific CPA track. And after I graduated, my parents decided to move to San Francisco. So moved out here, decided to stay with Ernst & Young in the real estate tax group, and stayed for 5 years. Left after 5 years because there were no women or people of color in leadership. And then I started my own practice at the age of 28 years old, representing women and minority small businesses for more contracting opportunities. So that's really how I got into politics. Never was involved in school. Never thought I would be in politics. But once I had to go and advocate, go to San Francisco City Hall, Sacramento, Washington, D.C., I started looking at the folks who are in politics and they get to make important decisions. Which laws to pass, right? Where the budgets are going. They can appoint people to different positions. So that started my interest in going down, maybe helping people. And it took 7.5 years before I ran for office. That's because my parents did not want me to go into politics. They really wanted me to be a partner, do accounting. And then I got elected to my first position, San Francisco Board of Supervisors, 2002 to 2006. Then State Assembly, 2006 to 2012. State Board of Equalization, 2014 to 2018. State Treasurer, 2018, and then reelected in 2022. So 4 positions, haven't lost yet.
Yeah, and can we mention that this position is your favorite position that you ever had in your career, or maybe there's a position that you would like to have that it will become your favorite position in your personal career?
Well, every position is my favorite position because I am one of these lifelong learners, and no matter what I'm doing, I always want to, jump in, learn, listen, and then fix problems, solve problems is kind of my personality. So. The Board of Supervisors, local board, people expect to see you every day. They want to call you whenever they need help, so you are kind of on the ground with them. Then state legislature, it's more of policy, the laws. Yeah. So the first 2 positions were difficult for me because I'm a numbers person. I'm not a lawyer. So it was a steeper learning curve. Then tax board, Board of Equalization, that was more comfortable for me because we deal with a lot of taxes and tax appeal cases. And then state treasurer is kind of a culmination of everything I've been doing in the private sector, public sector. So I'm very, very comfortable in this position, but I can only do 8 years. And so next year is going to be my final year as state treasurer.
Okay, so we're going to talk about your plans a little bit later. But as far as you're a California treasurer, what is maybe the biggest amount that you have ever seen in your life or during this position? And then we shall talk about the California budget. Is it big? Big as the budgets of countries, maybe?
Yes. So California, we're the 4th largest economy in the world. So that would be the US, China, Germany, and California, if we were our own country. So we play a very important role in global economic and politics. 90% of our general fund revenues is dependent on personal income tax, corporation tax, and sales taxes. So we are highly dependent on high quality jobs here. IPOs, those unicorn companies is really what keeps California, at the forefront. My office, I take in over $3 trillion. Young people are always, they're like, I said, how many zeros?
Yeah.
And they're like trying to count. I think it's 12 zeros. And I always tell them I'm the richest woman with my bank account, right? $3 trillion. I also invest whatever the state is not using. It's usually about 150 billion to up to 250 billion. Yeah. And then I issue all the bonds for the state of California for all the roads and the infrastructure, the buildings for the state, as well as the UC and CSU systems. And I also chair 15 boards that funds and finances affordable housing, schools, hospitals and children's hospitals, green energy, garbage and recycling, small business programs, and I have 4 savings programs. So that's just under the treasurer's office. So I have about 500 people that I manage every day.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's really fantastic. So is it hard to work with such kind of money? Like to give a use for them, to find the usage for them? It's like with so big money. Is it hard, or it's become easier day by day for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's never enough money for everyone that wants something, right? And it just is based on need. Like after COVID, our hospitals were not doing well because they could not open. They could only take COVID patients, and many of them did not have insurance, for example. So I had to issue 17 loans, distressed hospital loans, just to try to keep them open. So they tell us which ones need money, how much they need it, what they need it for, and then we get an allocation from the governor's office, and then we figure out how to distribute the money so that these hospitals can stay open. So far, all of them are still open, but they are still struggling.
Yeah, and about some strugglings, and you mentioned COVID. Maybe we can talk about a little bit about the U.S. economics at the moment, because like after COVID especially, and maybe some international issues like the Ukrainian war. We cannot mention the problems in the U.S. economy, and in which situation the U.S. economy is now. Can we have a pretty good or bright future in this economy?
Yeah. For many of us who came here to this country for the dream, I say you can still come to California for the California dream. We speak over 200 languages here. We really do believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion, trying to make sure everybody who comes here has equal opportunities and is supported, right, so that they can do well. So California is still very much open for business, very, very diverse, as you know. When our relatives and friends come, they can find a community, they can find restaurants, they can find churches. So that's what, brings people to California. What is happening in Washington, D.C. is not good in terms of tariffs. Tariffs are direct taxes on goods. So many of our products are costing more because this is like an added tax that is, added to the product. So tariffs are not good. Our relationships, because of the tariffs, like with our neighbors, with Canada and Mexico, are also very tense right now. And then the federal government coming in and impacting our workforce. Our workforce highly depends on foreign workers for agriculture as well as the construction industry. And so workers scared, not coming to work, people of color, is not good for our economy. So, what happens in DC affects us, but because we're the 4th largest economy in the world, we also can do certain things, and we have certain tools, and we are trying to protect, all of our residents and continue to provide that infrastructure for them.
Unfortunately, what happens in DC not stays. What happens not stays in DC. Unfortunately, so and California, as you know, is home to one of the largest Armenian communities outside the Armenian country. And what positive experiences have you had, touching with Armenian-American families, businesses, or maybe organizations?
Yeah. So I do a lot with the Armenian organizations and people, very, very hardworking. They value the same thing that Chinese folks do, about the family, about working hard, going to school, having a business, small business that they can, be successful, and buying a house, right?
Yeah.
And then seniors, taking care of our seniors. I lived with my dad until he was 91 years old.
Yeah.
And we share many of those cultures, I think.
Okay, it's so nice. And Armenian-American entrepreneurs play a major role in California economy. And how does your office support small businesses and immigrant-driven economic growth?
Yeah. So we have a number of different programs for small businesses where we provide a loan loss reserve or a loan loss guarantee to these banks so that they are incentivized to lend out the money.
Yeah.
And if the small business owners cannot pay it back, the state will pay it. So this is a really great opportunity for those people who don't have the best credit, may not, cannot get a loan at one of the big banks, right? So we have our own small business program. We're also starting a line of credit program because many small businesses said we need a little time, a little money while we're waiting for our shipment or our payment to come through. So we have those lines of credits. And then we also have just a number of different resources. I have a resource guide on my website, treasure.ca.gov, depending on if you're a manufacturer, a tech entrepreneur, if you're just a traditional small business, we do have separate funds for those.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to work with Armenians? There's a thought that Armenians are really impulsive, they very active, and maybe they're active. This is the main definition of Armenians. Is it hard for you to work with them, or it's easy for you?
It's easy for me because my personality is all about tomorrow is too late, right? So we should get things done today and keep moving forward. So I love the Armenian people because they're entrepreneurial. If they see an opportunity, they want to get into it. Yeah. They want to learn about it. They want to see if there's any free money to help support them. So I really like that because, they're always thinking. They're not waiting or resting. They're just like, okay, the state is putting $2 billion into, this industry. How do we get in? And then so I can, help guide them and lead them and teach them and open up some of those doors.
And thank you so much for that. And which of the values family, hard work, and community solidarity, and which of these values resonate with your personality?
All of them. All of them, right?
Yeah.
Oldest child coming to this country, parents working hard, want to make it, instilled in us, that type of work ethic, and just being helpful. Working with people, opening those doors. That's what government should be doing, and that's what I do every single day. So this is a great job for my personality.
Yeah, and how they influence your approach to your public service?
I started out as an aide to a state senator before I got elected, and people used to call me if they needed help, if they wanted my boss to show up, give a certificate, lead an initiative. So I was kind of doing the work before I got elected. And even today, people can still call me directly. People have my cell phone. I still handle my own schedule. I still am managing, my teams. And it's just who I am, but I'm very, very hands-on. So I don't like to have gatekeepers, and I don't like to trust one person to take care of everything because, there's a lot happening every day.
And maybe there's a question don't you afraid, like being a person that controls so much money, don't you afraid of something like scary?
Happening.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what keeps me up at night is some cyber attacker that takes my billions and trillions of dollars out of my bank account. Yes. So cybersecurity is something that I think about all the time.
Yeah. Okay, and you're gonna run to lieutenant governor, and what are the main goals for you? Let's start talk about that, and then I have another question for you.
Okay, so lieutenant governor is basically number 2. Everybody knows the governor, and if the governor cannot do the job or the governor leaves the state, then the lieutenant governor steps in. Lieutenant governor also sits on the UC, CSU community college boards. So education. I will be deeply embedded in education. I'm already doing tours of all the different schools, trying to figure out what their expertise is, their niche, whether they're doing well or not, how they're doing on their budget. So also trying to make it more affordable for students. You know, students that go to a CSU, for example, probably averages $150,000 student loan debt by the time they graduate. And that's a lot of money because they cannot start their life right away, right? They cannot buy a home because this big debt. So trying to keep students out of high student loan debt also is my priority through savings as well as other type of free money that is out there. And I have a guide on my website to try to help parents and young people.
Yeah, such a good job. And maybe you can tell how you work with the Armenian community in this project. I know that you have really many supporters like Armenian Democrats or ANCA Western Region. What are your connections with the Armenians during this campaign?
Yeah. Working with the Southern California Armenian Democrats, I'm proud that I helped them start in the Democratic Party with some of the leaders here. I also have 2 Armenian women that work on my campaign. My campaign manager is Armenian, and my finance director is also Armenian. So just lots of, touch points in the community.
Yeah. And the last question concerning your current position, as far as the next year, it's your last year of being in this position, correct? And maybe is there a job that you didn't manage to do during this period, and that you would like to, and you wish that the next person to be the California State Treasurer to do?
Yeah. It's taken 8 years. I've kind of got the agency up and running, and it's doing really, really well. I have great professionals who think outside the box, who are proactive and really helping our constituents. I'm very, very proud of our team, and the next treasurer will be able to step in and everything will be working smoothly. Okay. So I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, that's a really bright ending for our interview. Thank you so much for coming here. I wish you to have a really good year of 2026. Wish you a happy new year and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Շնորհակալություն հարցազրույցի համար եւ շարունակեք հետեւել Alpha News-ին։ Ես Ռոբերտ Գասպարյանն եմ, կհանդիպենք ցտեսություն։